The U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, warned that America is living through a loneliness epidemic. About 1 in 2 adults report feeling lonely. But you can sit alone in your room, close your laptop, and put your phone face down, and feel your body finally stop bracing. You do not feel abandoned. You do not feel empty. You do not feel like something is missing. And that is what confuses people about you. Because most people spend their whole life trying to fit into the room. They laugh when everyone laughs. They agree before they think. They stay in conversations that drain them because silence feels too dangerous. But you started noticing something. The louder the room became, the clearer your own mind got when you left it. Over the next 8 minutes, you will understand why some people feel different. Some people feel different not because they are broken. They feel different because their mind is built to process life at a deeper level. And if you have ever been called too quiet, too intense, too hard to read, or too much in your own head, do not rush past this. Stay with the part of yourself that always had to explain why it needed space. Because here is the real question. What if the room was never too big for you? What if it was always too shallow? You were not always like this. There was a time when you tried very hard to be easy to understand. You answered every message quickly. You stayed at the table even when your chest felt tight. You laughed at jokes you did not find funny because you did not want to make the room uncomfortable. You became the listener, the fixer, the quiet translator of everyone else's moods. Someone would walk in with a strange tone, and you would notice it before they said a word. Someone would say, "I am fine," and your body would already know they were not. Someone would make a small comment, and you would replay it later because your mind caught something underneath it. People called it overthinking. But for you, it was not a hobby. It was how you stayed oriented. Psychologist Elaine Aron described highly sensitive people as having a nervous system. That nervous system processes subtleties more deeply. Simple translation. Your mind does not just receive the room. It scans the room, sorts the room, and tries to understand what the room is not saying. That can look like depth from the outside. But inside, it can feel like work. So you learn to leave earlier, to stop explaining, to keep certain thoughts to yourself, to choose the quiet corner instead of the center of attention. And one day, you did not pick up the phone. And the world did not end. It got quieter. But if being alone makes you feel clearer, why does part of you still wonder if something is wrong with you? You notice the chair before you sit down. In a restaurant, at work, at someone's house, you quietly choose the seat where your back is not exposed. You do not announce it. You do not make it dramatic. You just feel better when you can see the door. You tell yourself you are being strange, but actually, your mind is looking for safety before it can relax. The cost is that even normal places can feel like you are still on duty. While other people are just eating, you are tracking tone, exits, faces, silence, and small changes in energy. You notice when a conversation has no real center. Someone asks how you are, but they do not wait for the answer. Someone talks for a long time, but nothing real ever enters the room. Someone says all the right words, but their eyes keep checking for approval. You tell yourself you are too picky with people, but actually, your mind has a low tolerance for empty connection. The cost is that small talk can make you feel lonely faster than being alone does. You can be surrounded by voices and still feel like nobody is actually there. You notice when effort is not worth the price. People may call you lazy because you do not chase every opportunity, every invite, every trend, every argument. But before you move, something in you asks a quiet question. Is this worth the energy it will take from me? You tell yourself you lack motivation. But actually, you are selective with your attention. The cost is that people who live on automatic approval may not understand you. They see you saying no and assume you are wasting your life. They do not see that you are trying not to waste yourself. Stop. Before we go further, Everything you have heard so far is not a compliment in pretty packaging. These are real adaptations of your psyche. They helped you survive rooms where you had to notice too much, but they can also keep you tense in rooms where nothing bad is happening. You notice the shift before the argument. A message gets shorter. A voice gets flatter. A smile stays on the face but leaves the body. Most people find out something is wrong when it becomes obvious. You feel it when it is still small. You tell yourself you are paranoid, but actually, you are pattern sensitive. The cost is that your mind can start treating every small change like evidence. Sometimes a person is tired. Sometimes a message is short, because they are busy. Sometimes silence is just silence. You notice that you cannot fake interest for long. You can sit through the conversation. You can nod. You can be polite. But inside, your mind is already leaving if the topic has no meaning, no honesty, no real question inside it. You tell yourself you are difficult, but actually, you need substance to feel connected. The cost is that your world gets smaller, not because you hate people, but because your mind keeps asking for something many people were never taught to offer. And that leads to the part nobody likes to admit. What happens when the same mind that protects your peace also starts protecting you from closeness? But here is where it gets complicated. A deep mind can become a locked room. At first, the silence feels clean. No explaining, no performing, no pretending to be interested in things that feel empty. You finally hear yourself again, but then you start avoiding more than noise. You avoid invitations before you know what they are. You assume people will misunderstand you before they even try. You leave early, not because the room is unsafe, but because being known feels risky. And this is the line you have to learn. Isolation is when fear chooses the silence for you. Solitude is when peace chooses the silence with you. Read that again in your own life. Because the goal is not to become louder. It is not to become more social for the comfort of people who never asked what it cost you. It is not to force yourself into every room just to prove you can handle it. The goal is to know the difference between a room that drains you and a room that challenges you to be seen. This is not only for people who like being alone. It is for anyone who has ever confused peace with hiding. Anyone who has ever called their walls boundaries. Anyone who has ever said, "I am fine by myself," when what they really meant was, "I am tired of being misunderstood." Your mind may be rare. Your awareness may be sharp. Your need for depth may be real. But you still need places where you do not have to scan every corner before you breathe. So how do you build a life that protects your depth without turning your heart into a locked door? If you are watching this and wondering if something is wrong with you, hear me. You are not cold. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are someone whose mind learned to notice what other people miss. That is why you need quiet after noise. That is why fake connection drains you. That is why you ask questions other people avoid. That is why your body reacts before your mouth can explain it. But the point of understanding yourself is not to disappear from the world. It is to enter the right rooms with less self-betrayal. The Harvard study of adult development has followed lives for more than 85 years. Its main lesson is painfully simple. The quality of our relationships matters deeply for health and happiness, not the number of people watching you, not the size of the group chat, not whether everyone understands your mind. The right people. People who do not punish your quiet. People who can sit with your depth without turning it into a problem. People who make your nervous system feel like it can put the bag down for a while. If your circle got smaller but quieter, you are not doing this wrong. If your standards got higher, but your life got calmer, you are not doing this wrong. If you stopped chasing rooms where you had to shrink, you are not doing this wrong. You are learning where your mind can breathe. So do not call yourself strange just because shallow places never felt like home. Do not call yourself difficult because empty conversations leave you tired. Do not call yourself broken because your peace has standards. Choose the room carefully. Then leave the door unlocked. If this gave you the permission you did not know you needed, Press the button below whose name I will not even say. You know which one. And write one word in the comments. What do you feel right now?